A video on using up the sloe berries that were left over from making sloe gin. So I made sloe gin, I've strained it, I've taken the fruit out of the gin, I've pitted the fruit, so I've got rid of all the stones, and then with the idea that I was actually going to use it in a Christmas cake. So they taste kind of quite nice. They've lost that bitter edge, they're a little bit ginny, they're a little bit sweet, they're almost like a raisin or a currant, not that far removed flavour profile wise. So I was kind of thinking, I want to use them up, I don't want to waste them, so we'll put them in a fruit cake and then we'll kind of see how it will work. And I think it will work really well because I've done something similar with other fruits that have infused into gin. So how does it taste? Nice. No, more an interesting flavour than currants and raisins and things like that. And I think with the gin, I think it'll work particularly well. So standard cake mixture, and then quite a lot of fruit. Thinking that maybe I should have dusted it in flour, but I haven't done it in the past. But anyway, so mix this all together. There's a lot of fruit compared to gin. I'm just going to do one that's just 100% the fruit, and then I'm going to make, because the oven's going to be on and everything's going to be a mess because I've mixed in the mixer and all bowls and things like that, and I've got more of this fruit. I'm going to make like a proper one as well. So this one's just going to be like 100% made with the sloe berries, and then I'm going to do one that's got some candied fruit in as well. And a mixture, I've got some blueberries that I've extracted the juice from, so they're going to go into it as well. And what else? And I've got some cherries as well. So I've it's going to be like a bit of a, this one's just going to be the sloe ones, and then I'm going to make some other ones that are where the sloes are a part of it and not kind of like the main kind of thing. So the recipe will be in the description. I think there's 3 eggs in this, so it's 3 eggs. So it's 4, 4, 4, 2, so it'll be 12 ounces of butter, 12 ounces of soft brown sugar, 12 ounces of self-raising flour, 6 eggs, quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon, quarter of a teaspoon of mace, and then a bit of lemon zest. And we'll see how it turns out. And it's going to be in the oven for how long? Oh, I don't know. Last time it was about 3.5 hours. Last time I made some fruit cakes, it was about 3.5 hours. So I'm thinking about 3.5 hours again, something like that. So if the oven's going to be on, it's pointless just making one cake. I might as well make more cakes, but this one will be the one I'm just kind of curious to kind of see. So we'll kind of get, rather than having to cut into a cake that's got lots of other ingredients, and I'll definitely know if it works in this cake. If it works, well, of course it's going to work. I mean, it might not just be delicious as a proper rich fruit cake. It might be even nicer, but we'll just kind of see. Obviously, you could mix it in with other things, like the raisins, things like that, and sultanas and currants, and do the fruit in like as a part of that, depending on how much fruit you've got. But I want to know if it works just on its own. So that in the oven, I think it's 150 degrees, I think. But the recipe and the thing will be in the description below, and then we'll kind of see how it turns out. Fingers crossed. Always fingers crossed. So we're done. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one is the one that's just the fruit. So I'll have to work it out. So I've done one that was just the sloe fruits, and then the others are a mixture of candied peel and things like that. So, and I can't remember which one's which. So I kind of have to work out. Might be that one. Might be that one. Looks like there's a lot of fruit there, doesn't it? But when they've cooled, I'll take them out of the paper and we'll have a look. But I think it'd be that one. I think it'd be that one. Like that's a slightly lighter colour than the others. So the others look the same. That was slightly lighter. So it might be that one. I don't know why it'd be lighter though. Maybe the oven's a little bit uneven. Or it might be that one. But what we'll be able to do is when I take them out of the paper, be able to kind of see. That looks like it's got a bit of candied fruit in there. That's certainly a bit of candied fruit. So we'll kind of have to see. We'll see how it goes, eh? When it's cool, we'll cut into one and we'll decide which it is. It might be that one. Might be that one. Might be able to look down the sides and kind of see, might be a bit of candy fruit poking out, which gives us better indication. But you live and learn, don't you? No, you don't actually. I still make the same stupid mistakes all the time. Right, it's cool, and I think it's this one. I think it's this one. So I have to unwrap them anyway. We just need to re-wrap them before we mature them in the in an airtight container. So it looks like, it doesn't look like there's any other kind of crystallised fruit in there, so I'm sure it's that one. So we'll just whip an end off. I've had my tea, so I'm not particularly very hungry, so I have to force myself to eat some cake. Look at that. It smells like olives. Yeah, so the cake mix hasn't got into all the bits of the fruit. It smells good. It smells good. So if it works with just the sloes in this cake, it will work in the other cakes because there's other ingredients in there. There is some blueberries, there is some cherries, and there is all the candied fruit that I made this last week. So nice and moist. It's nice, and I think it'll get better because of the gin that's kind of infused in the fruit. It's not too sweet. It's not like a sweet fruit cake. It's what you class as like adult. You know what I mean? Because generally you associate things that are really sweet with people who've got quite a simple palate, like kids. Kids like sweet things, whereas as you tend to get a bit older, you like more savoury things that are a little bit more complex in flavour, and those sloes are certainly complex. So that's nice. So I've kind of got 2 bites of cherries with those sloes. I've got some Sloe Gin out of it, and I've got a sloe fruitcake, which is going to be delicious. So I'll wrap it up. I'll show you what I'll do. So what you have to do with a fruitcake is you have to wrap them up so that they can mature. How are we going to do it? That way. Wrap them that, and we'll do it over there. That'll be fine. And wrap it up in there with a bit of paper that way. And then we'll wrap it up in some foil. I always buy good quality tin foil. It's a little bit thicker as this one than normal tin foil that you buy, but it's just because it's just that little bit thicker, it's easier to use. So about that much foil, I hope. Pull the ends over, and then hopefully I've pulled enough off. It's about square, that's it. And then wrap it tightly in the foil. And then you put it in an airtight container for 3 or 4 months. Just so it matures, and it'll be even nicer. You're supposed to put a bit of alcohol, a bit of rum, a bit of brandy, a bit of whiskey on it, but I never do, because I think it's got that gin in it, so that serves as the alcohol. So there we go. We'll leave that for, well, it might not be 2 months. It might be when I've gone through the cakes and I want to try some. But there we go, a success.